and I'm back with some more low carb meal prep for the week. This just makes my life easier throughout the week, and it means that I am more likely to cook at home rather than want to go out and get food somewhere else. So just like the last one, which I will link up in the iCards up here right now, I'm going to be making chicken stock out of these rotisserie chickens, and I'll be using the celery, carrots, garlic, and onion for that. And I'm also going to wash and cut up the rest of the celery and put it in the freezer because we don't eat celery around here by itself. I only use it in cooking. Also, like last time, I'm going to be boiling eggs and making deviled eggs, and all of this stuff will be in the other video, so I'm not going to take you through all that step by step this time around. So next, I am going to pre-cook some bacon because we went through the pre-cooked bacon already that I got at Sam's. I don't know how we went through it so quickly. I don't want to go to Sam's to buy bacon because I'll buy other things and I'll spend too much money. So I have 1.5 pounds of bacon here. I'm just going to pre-cook this in the oven. While that's baking in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and bake these chicken breasts for when I make chicken soup with this stock. And by the way, this chicken soup I made last week was a huge hit. So I'm definitely going to be making it again, and I'll probably make a video on how I made it, although it's not really a recipe, it's just showing you how to throw the stuff together, but still, it was so good. And lastly, I think lastly, for this time around, I'm going to pre-cook these 3 pounds of ground beef, and I got these at Target. They are $3.29 and they had $3 off stickers, so that was such a good deal, 29 cents for a pound of meat. I didn't buy all of them because I didn't want to be a shelf clearer, but now that I'm down to my last 3, I'm regretting that decision. I wish I had been a shelf clearer. So I think that's everything I have to do for this week. So I'm gonna get started with the chicken stock because that takes the longest. And ordinarily I would do 2 different batches with the 2 different chickens, but I am not doing that this time. I'm going to double it up, and hopefully I will get like a really concentrated chicken broth that I can just dilute later. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see what happens. So actually what I think I'm going to do is cut the root off of this and use this in my chicken broth rather than cutting up one of these. And doesn't that look like a pretty flower? That is so pretty. But while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and chop up all of this celery. So all of this celery I'm going to wash and then pat it dry and freeze it for future stock/soup recipes. I've decided to do something a little different this time. Since I know I'm going to be using this for chicken soup, I'm going to go ahead and add some bay leaves. And honestly, you can add in whatever seasonings you like, whatever seasonings your family likes, especially if you know what you're going to be using the stock for. I'm going to go ahead and cook the eggs on the stove this time around. Last time I did it in the electric pressure cooker, but I'm trying to do everything at once and not spend a lot of extra time, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna do these on the stove this time around. I never know how long to boil them. I always have to Google it right before I put them on to boil, so just Google it. Okay, so now that I have my eggs on to boil and my stock in the pressure cooker, I'm going to get started on my bacon. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and definitely you're going to want to foil line your pan to make for easy cleanup. Otherwise, it's a disaster. Then you want thick cut bacon, which is what I have here. Whoops. This is the best bacon if it's available in your area. Kunzler, I don't know how to say it, but it is delicious. I got this at Sam's and I think they have it at Costco. I'm in Pennsylvania, so it might just be local. I have no idea. So just place this on your pan. It's okay if it overlaps slightly because it's gonna shrink up. And who cares if it's stuck together? I usually just break it up to put on salads anyway. Yeah, be careful about having it go over the edges because the bacon grease will drip into your oven. All right, I have a couple pieces left, but I think I'm just gonna dice those up and cook them in a pan so that I have some bacon bits. I can just use those on my salad. And sorry, the dogs are being annoying yet again. If you like your bacon flavored, now is the time to do it. Some people like to put a little brown sugar on it. I can't do that. Some people like to put black pepper or garlic powder, onion powder, any of those things. But since I'm not quite sure what these pieces of bacon will be used in other than my salad, I'm not going to season them. I'm going to leave them just as they are, and they need to go in the oven for anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. It really depends how thick it is and how crispy you like your bacon, and I like my bacon super crispy, so these are gonna be in the oven for a while. Okay, I've got that bacon going. I've got the bacon bits on the pan. I've got the eggs in the pot boiling and the stock in the pressure cooker. Now I want to get the chicken cooking, and this is partially frozen, so I am going to stick it in. This just has garlic and herb marinade on it, and that'll go perfectly with my soup, so that would be great. Also, this can be used for salads. I'm probably not going to use all of it for the soup. So I'm going to put it in this pan, cover it with foil, and stick it in the oven for probably 45 minutes to an hour. Because it's partially frozen, I'll check it part of the way through just to make sure. I don't want to overcook it, but I do want to make sure it's fully cooked. The bacon bits are now done, so I'm going to get the ground beef started. Okay, I've got the ground beef going now, and I don't know if I said this in the beginning or not, but this is actually for the weekend coming up. My husband is going to a function where he needs to bring a lot of chili, and I thought I would go ahead and help him out by cooking the meat now and then freezing it until he needs it later in the week. He doesn't actually need it until Sunday, so I'm going to go ahead and freeze this, but it will just make life a lot easier if the meat is already done. I decided to go ahead and cut up an onion and add to this since we're going to be using it for chili. Okay, so I just took the bacon out of the oven. Honestly, if I were gonna eat it right now, I'd want it to be cooked a little more, but when I use this, I'm going to heat it up in the microwave and that will make it crispier. I'm thinking, I haven't done this before, but I'm thinking that will help crisp it up a little bit. The ground beef is done as well, so I'm going to drain off all the excess fat, let that cool off, and stick it in a Ziploc bag and freeze it until Saturday night, where we will take it out, let it thaw, and use it Sunday to make the chili. The chicken is done. That took 45 minutes, just in case you were curious. I know it doesn't look very pretty, but I'm going to be chopping it up and using some of it for my salads this week, and most of it will be going in the soup I'm going to be making later this week. The chicken stock is done. Now I just need to scoop out all of the stuff and put it through a strainer. I ended up with 3 containers of chicken stock, and as you can see by the pieces in here, I didn't actually strain it. It doesn't really matter. It's just pieces of the vegetables that I used in the stock, so they'll be fine in the soup. So here is everything I got done today in my meal prep. I got the chicken breast cooked. I got the bacon, 1.5 pounds of bacon pre-cooked, plus it's actually a little less than 1.5 pounds, and I think this was 2 pieces that I turned into bacon bits. I got 5 cups of celery for the freezer, and this is just the leftover bits that I'm going to use in stock just because it's not pretty. And then I have 3 pounds of ground beef with onion cooked, and that's for the chili. Then I got a dozen boiled eggs, and I don't know how many deviled eggs. Oh yeah, and the chicken stock. So I have all of this chicken stock as well. So if you like this kind of video, let me know in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and Facebook at Lee'sHome05. Thanks for watching. Bye.